Now if you'll notice, the Gizmo looks a little bit different from the original group node. The group node was pointy on both sides, and the Gizmo is only pointy on the right side. So anytime you see this shape, this means that you're looking at a Gizmo and not a regular group. And if you need to edit what's inside the Gizmo, you can always use this button here, copy to group, to explode the Gizmo back out into a group to edit the stuff that's inside. So I'm holding down Control and Enter to dive into this group again, and there we go. Those are the internals of the Gizmo right there. You'll also notice that right now it's the default color, which is a little bit boring. This particular node is doing color-related things like the grade and the hue correct and the color lookup. So the way that Nuke colors nodes like this is actually using its auto color functionality, which is in the preferences here. So we can adjust this a little bit so that our despill color node will be colored similar to our other color correction nodes. If we go to the preferences and node colors, you can see these are all the nodes that are being auto colored based on their names. So let's see, the color type nodes are in this line here, and you'll see we have correct and grade and invert and all these others, but we don't have anything that has color in the name. So let's put color in here. And so now our despill color will get, or anything with color in the name will get auto colored to be the same color as the other color correct nodes. So that's pretty cool. So let's say that we wanted to expand the functionality of our node a little bit more. We've already seen that we can explode it and edit it. In our original version of this node, we did a little bit more work. We didn't just do the despill, the weighted despill. We also had some other cool functionality that we ultimately added, like unspill and a little bit of hue correct. So let's build this up and get that hue correct in there as well to kill this last little bit of green, and then maybe we can also expand it to add that unspill functionality. So we'll explode this out again to a group. Let's get rid of this one so it doesn't confuse us. So this is the group that was built from the original Gizmo. I'm holding down Control and Enter to dive into there. And we will drop in a hue correct right underneath here. Now, the only real functionality we want from this hue correct is this LUT here. We don't really need any of these other controls. By default, none of this will be exposed at the Gizmo level, so we have to continue adding user controls at the group level up here. So let's go and edit the user controls of this group. Right-clicking, Manage User Knobs. And instead of creating my own sliders or knobs, I'm going to pick them this time. So I'll click Pick, and we'll find the node in here, Hue Correct 1. And the control that we want is this one here, Hue. That's the lookup table here. There we go. And you'll see that by default it's trying to cram all of this into the same space, which doesn't look so good. Let's force these other sliders to sort a little more nicely. So I'm going to edit the red-blue weight. And, well, let's see, it's this one here. Edit this one here and say Start New Line. And this will force it to pop onto its own line. So now each slider is getting its own line. Now this might be a little bit confusing what this interface is meant to be used for if the user is confronted with this lookup table thing here when they first drop down the Gizmo. So let's add some annotation in here so that it's a little more clear what this field is meant to be used for. So we'll add another field. And we'll just add a text box here. Let's add a divider line too. So we'll add a divider there to break these two up. And then underneath this, we will add a text field. We can just put the text we want here. We have to give it a name of some kind. There we go. So now we have a slight little note here that people will be informed by. I'm going to edit that, make it all in one line. It'll look a little bit better. So now they won't be maybe quite so confused about what this is meant to be. And if we liked, we can also go in and create, we're mostly interested in green suppression here. We could put some defaults in here as well. In this case, we're using this image to do our testing. We could say, okay, well, this is always going to be used to do flesh tones probably. So we could maybe set this up to be a little bit more staged for hue suppressing on flesh tones. We might not want to actually put any edits in it, but at least tighten things up here. So I'm going to reset it. And it will at least kind of change this stuff so it's a little bit more ready to go. These things grouped here. And now we can save this out as a gizmo again. And we're just going to save this over our old testing gizmo here. Now, if you're going to be doing this in production, you want to be very careful. It's possible to save these in a way where they're globally accessible to everyone. So if you're working on a production gizmo like this, you won't want to just clobber the one that's on the network that everyone has access to, because you could break a lot of people's work or things could change unexpectedly. So you'd want to test it locally like this before you deployed it to everyone. And you'd probably also want to use some kind of change management, source control or something to keep a record if you were going to clobber a gizmo like this over the same name, and so that you could roll back if you made a change that broke everyone. Another option would be that you could version them, so you'd have different versions of the gizmo, but that can become unwieldy also. But just to always be careful when you're saving over work that's already done. In this case, it's safe because we know this isn't being used in other scripts. So I can save over this gizmo.